This is called The Art Lesson by Tomie dePaola. The art lesson. See all those crayons? Kind of like what we use. Tomie knew he wanted to be an artist when he grew up. He drew pictures everywhere he went. It was his favorite thing to do. He had his friends had favorite things to do too. Jack collected all kinds of turtles. Herbie made huge cities in his sandbox. Jeannie, Tomie's best friend, could do cartwheels and stand on her head. But Tomie drew and drew and drew. His twin cousins, who were already grown up, were in art school learning how to be real artists. They told him not to copy and to practice and practice and practice, so he did. Tomie put his pictures up on the wall of his half of the bedroom. His mom put them up all around the house. His dad took them to the barber shop where he worked. Tom and Nana, Tommie's Irish grandfather and grandmother, had his pictures in their grocery store. Nana Fall River, his Italian grandmother, put one in a special frame on the table next to the photograph of Aunt Chloe in her wedding dress. Once Tomie took a flashlight and a pencil under the covers and drew pictures on his sheets. But when his mom changed his sheets, she found them and she said, "No drawing on the sheets, Tomie." His mom and dad were having a new house built, so Tomie drew pictures of what it would look like when it was finished. Our house, our summer house. Look, he signs it by Tomie. When the walls were up, one of the carpenters gave Tomie a piece of bright blue chalk. Tomie took the chalk and drew beautiful pictures all over the unfinished walls. But when the painters came, his dad said, "That's it, Tomie. No more drawing on the walls." Tomie couldn't wait to go to kindergarten. His brother Joe told him there were a real teacher who came to the school to give art lessons. "When do we have our art lessons?" he asked the teacher. "Oh, you won't have art lessons until next year," said Miss Bird, "but we're going to paint pictures tomorrow." It wasn't much fun. The paint was awful and the paper got all wrinkly, and Miss Bird made the paint by pouring different colored paint powders into different jars and mixing them with water. The paint didn't stick to the paper very well and it cracked. It was windy when Tomie carried his pictures home and the paint blew right off the picture. At least you get more than one piece of paper in kindergarten. When the art teacher comes, you only get one piece. Tomie knew the art teacher came to the school every other Wednesday. He could tell she was an artist because she wore a blue smock over her dress and she always carried a big bag of thick crayons and pencils. When Tomie and Jeannie looked at the drawings that were hung up in the hallway, they were done by first graders. "Your pictures are much better," Jeannie said to Tomie. "Next year when we have real art lessons, you'll be the best one." Tomie could hardly wait. He practiced all summer. And then on his birthday, which was right after school, his mom and dad gave him a box of 64 Crayola crayons. Regular boxes of crayons had red and orange and yellow and green and blue and violet and brown and black. This box had so many other colors: blue, violet, turquoise, red, orange, pink, and even gold, silver, and copper. "Class, next month the art teacher will come to our room, so on Monday, instead of singing, we will practice with our crayons." On Monday, Tomie brought his 64 crayons to school. Miss Landers was not pleased. "Everyone must use the same crayons," she said, "school crayons." School crayons had the same old 8 colors, and Miss Landers passed them out. She said, "These crayons are school property. Do not break them. Do not peel off the paper or wear down the points." "How am I supposed to practice being an artist with school crayons?" Tomie asked Jack and Herbie. "That's enough, Tomie, and I want you to take these birthday crayons home with you and leave them there." And Joe was right. They only got one piece of paper. Finally, the day of the art lesson came. Tomie could hardly sleep that night. The next morning, he hid the box of 64 crayons under his sweater and he went off to school. He was ready. The classroom door opened and in walked the art teacher. "Miss Landers, class, this is Mrs. Bowers, the art teacher. Patty, who is our paper monitor, will give you out one piece of paper. And remember, don't ruin it because it's the only piece you'll get. Now pay attention to Miss Bowers." "Class, because Thanksgiving is not too far away, we will learn to draw a pilgrim man, a pilgrim woman, and a turkey. Watch carefully and copy me." "Copy? Tomie knew that real artists didn't copy. This was terrible. This was supposed to be a real art lesson. He folded his arms and just sat there. Now, what's the matter, Miss Landers said. Tomie looked at her and spoke to Mrs. Bowers. I'm going to be an artist when I grow up, and my cousins told me that real artists don't copy. And besides, Miss Landers won't let me use my own 64 crayons. Well, well, said Miss Bowers, what are we going to do? She turned to Miss Landers, and they whispered together, and Miss Landers nodded. Now, Tomie, Mrs. Bowers said, it wouldn't be fair to let you do something different from the rest of the class, but I have an idea. If you draw the pilgrim and man and woman in Turkey and there's time left, I'll give you another piece of paper, and you can do your own picture with your own crayons. Can you do that? I'll try, said Tomie with a big smile. And he did. And he did. And he still does. This is the art lesson by Tomie dePaola. Do you think that's a story about him? Think so? Well, just remember, you can use all the paper you want, but when you make some art, make sure you sign it.